You know the benefits a good clear out can bring, and you are ready to take things up a notch. Following on from a previous video where I shared 10 things that you can quickly and easily remove from your home, here are 10 more to add some breathing space back into your place. Let's go. Hi guys, it's Laura from How to Get Your Shit Together, and I help busy people cut the crap and get back to happy. So let's talk about some of that crap. The first is collections you don't use. Now, at some point in your life, you probably decided to save some specific thing for some reason or other. Maybe some mason jars for those lovely salads in jars, maybe some crafting things for a project you were working on or you planned on working on, maybe some supplies for a scrapbook that you wanted to make of your kid's first birthday, the kid who's now packing a bag for college. We've all done it. We've all saved bits and bobs that we were sure we were going to use and turn them into something amazing. Pinterest has a lot to answer for. But it is time to part ways with all those empty wine bottles and fairy lights. I promise you, you will be okay. Next up is every card you have ever been sent. I am so glad that I kept those 5,000 holiday cards because they have been a great comfort to me and they have come in very handy over the years. Said no one ever. Keep the most recent one from your loved ones or any that hold particular sentimental value and recycle the rest. Because all those Christmas cards are now is kindling. Next, let's look at old phones and chargers. My husband keeps all his old phones in case his current one stops working. Because apparently he needs 5 backup phones, and if somehow his current one did stop working, he wouldn't just rush right out, buy a replacement. But we have all been there. We've all got a new phone and then thrown the old one in a drawer just in case, or with the intention of going through it and deleting everything from it before we get rid of it, or transferring things or sending them on to someone, or before we gift it to someone else. And I think most of us have more chargers than we need. And not just for phones. You know, we dumped that old camera or that games console years ago, but the cables never quite made it out the door. It is time to accept that they do not deserve a place in your home. And get rid of the old phone books while you're at it. The internet isn't going anywhere. And the box that your phone came in. Unless you're gonna do a KonMari on it and start using it to store your socks or something. Now let's look at holiday memorabilia. I mean, how many memento shot glasses and key rings does one person really need? This one is top of mind for me because I have just come back from holiday and I brought all manner of crap back with me. A map of the hotel we stayed at. Like that is somehow going to enhance my memory of it. Or the ticket from when we took that helicopter ride over the Grand Canyon. Because apparently the 4 billion photos and video clips I took just won't cut it. Or breakfast receipts. Because I'm definitely going to want to remember that blueberry muffin for the rest of my life. Now, obviously, there are some trinkets that are worth treasuring, like this Navajo vase that I brought back from Monument Valley, but be realistic. Most of it is tat. If you've got the snaps, you don't need the stuff. Next up, buttons. Now, maybe this is just me, but in the past, anytime I got an item of clothing that came with a spare button, I would save it. Didn't matter that I have never actually sewn on one of those spare buttons. Also, didn't matter that I could just go to a fabric store and probably replace all of those spare buttons for just a few cents. No, in my head, someday there was going to be a button emergency so big that I would be glad that I kept an entire vase full of them. When the great button shortage of 2053 comes, I thought, I'll be prepared. In the end, I chose sanity over spare buttons. And unless you are like a seamstress or something, you can do the same. Okay, time to move on to takeout menus. It is fine to keep one from the place you order from regularly, and you know, you like to try out something new each time. But keeping every single one that has ever come through your door, just don't. Menus are easily available online. And if you're like me, you order the exact same thing every single time anyway. Always spaghetti for me. What is it for you? Okay, let's talk about subscriptions. Chances are you have at least one subscription that you never or barely use. Maybe it's to a newspaper or magazine. You know, you can just get most of those free at the library though, right? Maybe it's one of those snack subscription boxes. My husband gets one of those and we were inundated with uneaten nuts and things until I put the foot down. Maybe you can just put a temporary hold on the subscription, or some companies will let you reduce the frequency with which you are receiving things. But look closely at everything that you are regularly paying out money for. Anything that is regularly being delivered to your door or your inbox or wherever, and be honest with yourself about whether you really need it. If previous deliveries are still sitting there, you probably don't. Next up is pens. Now bear with me, because I know that there is a whole group of you out there who just went, I just mean the ones that don't work, or don't work very well, or that just you don't like writing with. Don't lynch me. Why is it that when we go to use a pen and it doesn't work, you know, we kind of like scribble with it a bit, we shake it, we try again, and then we just throw it back in the drawer or wherever it came from. And then we go through the exact same process 6 weeks later and we get so frustrated because we can't find a working pen. Sometimes smart people do silly things. Gather up all of the pens and writing implements in your home and go through them. It will only take you a few minutes, and then dump the ones that don't work, recycle them if you can, and donate the ones that still do but just aren't your favorites. A local school would love to have them. Or bring them into your workplace and watch them disappear in seconds. And how about cards? Of the plastic variety this time. I would be willing to bet that you have at least one card lurking in your purse that is surplus to requirements. Old credit or debit cards, maybe a rewards card for a store that you no longer frequent. Any card that you can easily access a digital version of. In fact, any card that just has like a barcode on it that needs to be scanned, or maybe just has a number on it, you can easily just snap a picture of that and save it in a special folder on your phone or in the Wallets app on your iPhone and get rid of the physical card. Also, gift cards. A lot of them actually expire, so you may be hanging onto a card from 5 years ago that sadly now has a zero balance. Find out how much is left on them and then use them up. But not to buy more crap. And then there's old underwear. You're better than that. Now it's fine to keep a few extra comfy or just in case pairs. And I'm definitely not saying that you have to run out and replace everything with like super expensive ones. But don't hang on to the holy stuff. If you get hit by a bus, okay, no, you're probably gonna have bigger things to worry about than the state of your knickers, but still. I will have the first part of this video linked in the description box below, but if you are ready to have a serious decluttering spree, something like the KonMari method, and you want to avoid the most common obstacles, then watch this video so you don't make those mistakes. This is the bitter voice of experience. Click here, and until then, Cur have míle maith. Agus feici mé sibh go luath. Slán!